Hi everyone and welcome to Rebellion. My name is Robbie and I'm here with James Vowles and Tim Jones, and we've got an exceptionally exciting stream today. This is the world's first Twitch stream of Battlezone running on PlayStation VR. We're going to be doing some live gameplay, we're going to be showing you some other gameplay as well, we're going to be doing some live Q&As. Feel free to get involved in the chat. We're also going to be giving away some t-shirts, 5 actually. These are limited edition and they are glow in the dark, which is pretty cool. We'll be doing some raffles of them later and potentially some trivia as well to help win those. And if you're new to the stream, we stream every Wednesday on Rebellion_official. So if you're new, please give us a follow. And for all of those who have yet to see Battlezone or want to know what it's about, Rob behind the camera is going to play a trailer for you now, and then we'll get going with the stream. All right.
Awesome. Should I go there?
You made it. Well done.
Alright, so that was our exciting trailer for the single-player campaign on Battlezone that some of you would have seen around the time of GDC. So Tim, for all those people who've come in from maybe they've seen the PlayStation tweet or they've seen the front page feature on Twitch, what is Battlezone?
Well, Battlezone originally was a game that came out in 1980 in the arcades. For those of people old enough to remember arcades, I think they kind of have them some places these days. But,
Not me.
It was the many people regard it as the very first virtual reality game. It was certainly the first like proper 3D perspective game where you could move around in first person, and it was a virtual tank battling simulator. It had a huge impact on people like myself, who are old enough to remember it from the time, and certainly to the Kingsley brothers, a Rebellion who own Rebellion, who picked up the license to it from Atari a couple of years back now, and yeah, virtual reality now becoming an actual reality in something that, in a way that is actually playable and truly awesome these days. It seems like a natural time for Battlezone to make its resurgence. So
okay. Well, as you can see in the bottom corner, James has kindly stepped over onto the green screen. Yeah, thanks, James, to put on a PlayStation VR headset. So there's probably not much point us talking about the game right now because we can show you. So this feed is directly from the headset live, as you can see, and James is going to take you through. This is the demo build that we've been taking to quite a few shows at different places, but it was only shown at GDC recently, so there haven't been too many people who've played it yet. If you go to public events where PlayStation have got a PSVR stand, Battlezone should be there. So this is the demo that you will be able to play at events everywhere across the globe. We've been at James was out at, in the Middle East recently with it, so yeah. So hopefully you'll be able to play Battlezone in a place near you. Right, James, take us away. Have a look around.
Well, hopefully Tim will do the audio commentary.
I'll do what I can. What are you seeing, James?
So we're inside the cockpit. One thing that we actually introduced on the second demo was rendering the controller in the game, which it makes a massive difference for people who are not fully aware of all the different buttons in the controller and what each of them do. So we actually allow them to we give them a hint of what each of them do through the game.
I'll tell you what it's really useful for as well is like when you're handing the controller to someone, like when you've got the headset on, you can't actually see what's around you. Just naturally reaching out in the world to that controller you see in the virtual world, and it just being there is kind of uncanny but very helpful and very very cool.
Yeah. All right, well, let's start.
So everyone in the stream is asking us questions. We'll probably be going through the demo at the moment. Probably won't ask questions right now, so we'll have a sort of question and answers straight after the demo is finished, and then at different stages as well. So yeah, keep those questions handy for later.
All right, here we
Press
go.
X to select.
So we'll choose the default tank for now.
Good job too. There aren't any other tanks in the actual demo.
There you go.
Smartly designed.
Yes, there will be more tanks in the full game though.
This is a map of the enemy's territory. Each hexagon represents a strategic zone. Your mission is
So that's
to
the
reach,
campaign map you're
confront,
looking at
and
there,
destroy
James,
the
yeah?
AI
Yeah.
core. Select a
So
zone.
for the demo, there's only one mission available, so we'll just go straight into that one. But it kind of gives you a hint of the type of game that we're trying to build. And basically, you as a player will be starting in a starting point, and you'll have to get your way all the way through the map, tackling different missions with different type of objectives until you get to the volcano, which is the final mission in the game. So I'm just gonna kick off the first mission.
Initiating boot sequence. Press X to move forward.
So this is kind of what we talk about as being the onboarding process to get people used to being in VR. Tim, do you want to chat a bit more about our approach for especially this section at the beginning?
Well, I mean, certainly something we found is really important for this sort of new generation of like the first set of people to play VR is to give them a nice sort of easy way to acclimatise themselves to the experience before throwing them directly into gameplay. So essentially this is on a little on-rail section where you get to look around the cockpit, then experience moving through an environment. At the moment James isn't in control of it, he's just able to look around and just see everything that's going on, getting used to being in the world, and then we gradually introduce you to some of the controls. And by the time you're outside, we found that everyone's raring to go and totally comfortable with where they're at. So yeah, that's your weapon.
Test, then fire using R2.
Bit of gentle shooting to introduce you.
Don't bottle it.
Fire at the target above.
Can you hit the target, James?
I don't know. Tricky.
You'll note we're gradually moving those targets up higher and higher as well, which is a good way to introduce the player to the idea that, you know, they're going to be shooting at stuff from all angles, not just directly in front of them.
Yeah, it's quite easy in the beginning if you haven't used VR to actually just look straight ahead and not actually look around it. So that actually helps a lot.
Yeah, I mean, as gamers, we're trained to stare at the TV, aren't we,
Yeah,
and not
that's
move
right.
our heads. So it's kind of getting used to that feeling of freedom to look around, to actually use it as an advantage in combat.
Yeah, and that's how, you know, the whole cockpit is being designed for, is to give you, you know, little bits of information around the cockpit, so it allows you to move around and see interesting stuff as you play.
Yeah, James can lean right up close to those screens and really see what's on them. There's a bit of like headline news from the world of Battlezone there. It's full of little details.
There's no
going on.
leaks in there, is there, that you haven't told me about?
That's for you to find out and do a bit of PR control on.
Yeah, oh, thanks. Yeah, can't
Got to
wait
keep you on your
tomorrow morning.
toes.
Alright, so if you see the radar at the bottom, so we've got a couple of enemies that I need to take down.
The radar was a major feature in the original Battlezone game in 1980 as well. So you're always having to track your targets and rotate around to hit them on that. So it's a natural fit for this as well.
And I've seen a couple of people ask, actually, this is a first-person shooter control setup, so it's not being head-tracked. The head tracking is completely separate. So if you're used to playing FPSs on two sticks, you'll be right at home on this.
Yeah, I mean you're in the tank. Your head in real life is your head in the VR world, if you like. You know, that is you looking around, and the sort of more standard first-person dual stick control is controlling the tank. So your right stick is rotating the tank and moving the gun up and down, and the left stick is strafing and moving forwards and backwards. And the right trigger is naturally fire your weapons.
Yeah, so with these medium tanks, it's actually quite useful to try to get behind them because they're weaker on the back. So something that we don't actually explain in the demo, but if you have it as an option, is you press the left trigger, you are able to boost your tank. So you're able to kind of get behind it.
Yeah, it's well, it's certainly clearer when you actually experience it for yourself, but you get a really nice feeling of like physically sort of zooming and sliding around the map. We've had a lot of people sort of say how they really sort of like the sense of like being able to sort of skid around corners and stuff.
Yes, yeah.
It's got that tactility to it that you really feel when you've got the depth of perception that you get in
I think
VR.
I can't remember who it was. It might have been Kev from VR Focus. He said, "Oh, it reminded me of playing like Dirt, you know, the rally game where you're swinging the car out." And I was like, "Well, it's an interesting comparison. I hadn't thought of that one, but
yeah, certainly not a deliberate
liked
one, but that's I'll take it as a good thing."
Yeah. Right, so we've got some new enemies flyers coming in. Don't worry, people, if you missed the detail, we are going to be playing this demo a couple of times. It's fairly short. We'll also be showing some gameplay later on from an older demo to compare how different actually and how far the game's come on since when we revealed it.
A swarm which made James go, ooh. Like, how many hundreds of times have you played this, James, and you still went, ooh?
Yeah, it's still, you know, it's something that I always thought that it was going to wear off fairly quickly, you know, the whole idea of the immersion in the cockpit and the game, it doesn't wear off, you know, it's still feels pretty intense when you get to this area. As you can see, I'm getting my hands. I think the hoppers actually is worth mentioning as well, that they are really cool enemies. They kind of push the player again to actually look up and free yourself from just straight forward.
I'll tell you the thing I really enjoy about the hoppers, the flyers, is all the fragments that fall down towards you when they're underneath them and they explode. It's just that little bit of a 3D thrill there.
Oh, he's finished it off with the EMP. So,
EMP weapon.
Well done.
So that's nearly the end of the demo, but what we do here is we give the player a little bit of a glimpse of some other environment styles we've got in the game. So we've got the frozen wastes here. In the olden days, demo might have ended with a few like screenshots or something cycling through, but we're actually just taking you directly into the 3D environment so you can properly experience it in 3D. A brief taster.
got some questions I'm going to note down actually.
Yeah.
Some tech ones for you.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
I'll do my best.
We'll do some. We're definitely going to play the demo a couple more times, guys and girls, and we'll also be showing some other gameplay. So get your questions fired in now because we can do a quick Q&A.
Yeah.
Give away the first T-shirt,
Cool.
and then we'll crack into the demo again and show you some other stuff.
All right. Welcome back to the real world, James.
So first question, whether you're the right person, Tim. Is this rendering at 60 frames and using reprojection?
Short answer is yes. Yes, it is. It's absolutely crucial that it runs fast and smooth, otherwise the virtual reality experience is somewhat unpleasant. Your brain does not like it if things are running slowly. Yeah, it actually with everything running, it's actually running at 120 hertz, which is an effective 120 frames per second. But that's with some funky technology going on behind the scenes. But that's basically what your brain is perceiving, and it feels really.
And it's really interesting because it's a reverse of how you often develop games like Sniper Elite games that we've made, where you pitch out what you want to be doing, and then as you get close to launch, you optimize and optimize and optimize and optimize to get the best frame rate and the best stability. But on VR, you have to start as stable as you possibly can, and then add in other things and try and keep that frame rate because of the comfort level,
Yeah,
which
normally
makes it
on
a
a
bit
TV
different.
screen you can kind of get a feel for whether something's working well, even at a low frame rate. But in VR, you just can't. It's just got to run perfectly, even to judge a rough prototype.
Yeah, it makes it harder as well to develop if you are under optimized frame rate, because we need to play the game pretty much hours every day, so it needs to run smooth.
But it's a good discipline for us, and our tech is fortunately entirely under our
To run
control.
the B-roll, GDC.
What are you two whispering about in the corner?
Just going to run some B-roll so they're not just staring at the cockpit. So
Okay.
Here we go. So this at the moment is B-roll taken from this demo, just as we're chatting. Okay, someone's looking about room scale, like what size room do you need for this stuff? I mean, we're all sitting at our desks, aren't we, playing it? So you really, at least for Battlezone, because you've got a controller, that shouldn't really be an issue.
Yeah, I think it's also, you know, Battlezone is based on you being in a tank, so you sat on a chair close enough to the camera. It's not.
If you've got room to play your PlayStation at the moment with the TV, you've got room to play it with Sony VR. It's
yeah, it has to be, you know, further enough so the camera picks your controller.
Yeah.
So you can see it again. But aside from that, it's you know, any room will do actually.
yeah. I mean, you only really need to be there like a couple of feet away from the TV for it to work.
European, so a meter and a half.
Metre and a half. Well, that's more like 4 feet.
Yeah, meter and a half.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, for the controller to be the best.
yeah.
So
Yeah, it works well enough like on the other end of the office.
It's not Kinect. It's not like being
No.
British and having a Kinect that requires 5 meters of space in your tiny one-bed flat.
Japanese friendly.
Yeah. People have been asking about the launch date. This is going to be a launch title when PlayStation VR launches. So that's been publicly announced as October. That there's no date. So that's what we're hitting, aren't we, James?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, it's happening.
The team aren't very busy at the moment, as you can imagine.
Yeah. In terms of the campaign, people ask about like, how long is the game going to be, and we don't have a time. But do you want to give a bit more detail on like how the campaign is going to effectively be replayable?
Yeah, so the campaign is kind of like procedurally generated. So you've seen the map in the demo, and that map is always going to be different every time you play a new campaign. So we populate those different hexes with different
There
missions.
it is, in fact.
So I think if you probably saw the previous demo, the map will probably be looking a bit different. So the location of the objectives as well will be different. Each of those hexes will have a different mission that you will have to accomplish, and we have a big pool of missions and levels to play. So yeah, the idea is that you will be able to replay the campaign many times over, and it won't play the same way every time, which is pretty cool.
For those asking about the PC stuff, we have announced that it's coming to Oculus Rift and probably other VR devices, but we're not going to be talking about dates. We're only sort of focused on the PlayStation VR version at the moment, but there'll be news on that. People have asked about a non-VR version because it obviously looks fun. Again, we're looking into it, but it's been developed from the ground up for VR originally, so it's going to need a little bit of work to go the other way. We'll have to see where that goes, but again, really, it's James's team is looking for the PlayStation VR launch. So
yeah, I think
that's
the
enough
key
work at the
thing
moment.
is October for PlayStation VR, and the entire team is just working on making sure that we got the best VR experience possible. We'll see what we do after that.
Nitro Gav 68, will you be at E3? Yes, we will be actually. So if you know anyone who's going there, if you're a press or you've got a YouTube channel or Twitch channel, let us know. We'll be taking bookings. In fact, you can email me at marketing@rebellion.co.uk if you're going to any events like that. So that's cool. No plans for Move controller stuff at the moment because we feel like it's a twin stick game. But,
I mean, we looked at the Move controllers, which are really cool, but for us, the DualShock is a natural thing for like controlling a vehicle. The joysticks are a natural thing there. Tanks have joysticks in the original Battlezone game, had 2 joysticks moving forwards and backwards, moving your independent tank tracks.
Someone was ribbing us for not having the independent tank tracks.
Well, we moved away from that somewhat because if you have that kind of control, that's cool, but you have no ability to aim up or down. You're stuck on a level, really, unless you've got some really complicated control setup. And for us, I think it works well just having like the really familiar, intuitive controls of the DualShock.
I'm wondering if we want to actually show the B-roll from E3.
Oh yes.
So
yeah, why not? Yeah.
So you've all been seeing the recent demo, which we've been showing at GDC. The game's actually carried on in development, obviously since then. There's a lot more levels, a lot more content we're not showing you. But we're actually now going to show you gameplay from the original demo at E3 2015 when we announced the game, and you'll have a really good impression of actually how far the game has come. So take it away, Rob. Memories.
Yeah,
a year ago.
It's like this seemed really amazing at the time. Everybody that saw it and played it, and including Sony, like we were all like kind of blown away.
Look at that cockpit.
But in many respects, it's very similar. But the art in particular has come such a long way.
That's the cockpit for me.
Yeah, the cockpit we really went a bit more state of the art with it. This was quite basic. And a lot more kind of claustrophobic.
L1 for speed boost.
There's a lot more detail to the cockpit. I don't know how easy it is to see on the videos, but when you watch the demo, how everything switches on. There's animations of like the two big panels that they move onto the cockpit. There's a lot of detail.
You just restarted the video, Rob.
I think he did.
Yeah, the audio was a bit high, so it turned it down.
Right.
Thanks, Rob.
Another thing that's interesting to note here is at the beginning of this demo here, we take the player through all the controls and get them to like click each button in turn, which is effective as a way of like teaching people the controls. But by the time they actually get to use those controls later in the demo when they come out of the hangar, there's a potential for them to have forgotten them. It's actually, it seems like it's only 5 buttons, but it's still quite a lot for people to remember when they're taking in so much stuff. And so in the more recent demo, we save it until you actually are able to do something. Like the first time you're shown the weapon, or change weapon button is when you activate the weapons, and the first time you get to sort of aim up and fire is when you get to aim up and fire at a target. And the first time I tell you how to move is when you can actually move. We do it in stages. It's a lot more natural and seamless. And
you get feedback from the new demo, which you didn't get on this one. So when you press fire, you didn't really fire. So it was.
Interestingly, this video footage here isn't actually recorded from the PlayStation VR at the time, because we haven't figured out quite technically how to do that. This is off the PC build, and any instances of looking around are me holding down my middle mouse button and trying to look around at stuff. So it's well, it's a lot smoother in terms of the head movement than like what you naturally get when you're videoing someone looking around with their head. But it's a lot more.
I'm getting flashbacks now to like demoing this in a small room at E3. Over and over.
It was nice though. The response was always good.
Yeah, it was really good.
But you'll see more sunshine on this map. We decided to go a bit more overtly sort of dark Tron style with our recent demo, but
mostly just to make a change in a way, because we do have levels that will be brighter.
Oh yeah.
As we showed in the
Absolutely.
Someone's pointed out that they remember hearing about a jump in the game.
Yes.
And asking whether that's the one.
Good spot. No, the jump is no longer in the game. Yes, there was a jump in this version. But it was kind of... Ultimately, it didn't really feel that fitting.
With that demo done, maybe we should get Tim in the headset.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
All right.
Good luck.
Let's go.
And for those of you who regularly follow us, you'll know that we have a fun little hashtag competition.
Here we go.
What's going to happen is, to make it as fair as possible, you're all going to put down the same hashtag, and we'll pick at random a winner for the second T-shirt. And in deference to Timothy here, who's playing and is a regular streamer, I'd like you all now to type hashtag blame Tim and do your thing, and we'll pick a winner.
All right. Shall I just get going, or
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Why not? I'm going to move a bit closer to you, James.
All right, that's uncomfortable.
Got a bit more room now.
Operative identification nexus.
Come on, people. I want to see some more blame Tims.
Press
Here we go.
to select.
Yeah, have a look around.
Yeah, see all those panels. And now that you've seen the previous demo footage, you'll probably realize how much detail we've added to the cockpit.
Represents a strategic
And
zone.
every single panel in there is giving you certain information
And destroy the AI core.
for the player.
Select
Tony
zone.
to
And
hashtag blame PS4.5. Nice. Someone's not happy about that decision.
All these rumors,
I know.
where are they coming from?
NeoGAF, that's where they're coming from. I heard it was some kind of thing they heard off a developer in a queue at GDC. That's what I heard.
I wouldn't be surprised.
The rumour came out quite soon after GDC.
Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, the same. The garage is completely different. And
Yeah.
much more detail.
What's going on?
Tim, can you show the
Daylight
controller?
exchange.
Can you look down? Show the controls to everyone. There you go. So that's showing the controls actually. You can
Yeah.
for the demo. There you go.
Look underneath it.
Very
Look
nice.
around, Look, see how the text goes upside down.
So that's all been picked up by. Is it a combination of the motion and the light? How's
The
that
camera
work?
and the light in the front of the controller.
So that's what those blue lights are for on the front of the headset.
yeah. If you see
wiggle the sticks.
if you look down further down, because we got the image cropped.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's hard for me to tell what you can see because I've got full peripheral vision.
You're in the world, Tim.
So moving the sticks, it also moves the controls in the cockpit. The pedals.
Can you see that clearly?
Yeah. It's cool.
And,
Yeah, it's a small detail, but I love it. It's very
You
cool.
do love it.
Yeah,
What?
I do.
Someone wants to know what happens if you stand up.
It works. However,
Well, he could come off the green screen. That's the first thing that
Yeah,
happens.
okay. But basically, it does do full head tracking. Where is the camera set up on this?
it's quite.
Oh,
down,
it's right down there. That's
so
why it's
you'll
going
probably
upside-
clip it.
No one wants to see your face, Tim. Put it back on.
Yeah, but if the camera's set like directly in front of you, here it's like down at my feet. I don't know who set that up, but like.
Thank you for all the kind words, everyone. That's really nice.
I blame Rob.
Yeah.
Blame
Invisible Rob.
Hashtag.
I think I might be the next one.
But yeah, if it
Hold
was
on
set
to
higher up, then if I stood up, then I'm poking my head out the top of the tank a little bit.
Yeah. One of the coolest things I saw was, do you remember from E3, Tim, the journalist from Nuts magazine who did her interview wearing the headset, standing up, so she was effectively about 10 metres above the tank.
Yeah.
And she just thought it would look cool to have the headset on during the interview, and I was thinking I'd probably get vertigo doing that, and trying to do an interview at the same time as well. Lucy from was it Zoo or Zoo or Nuts, something like that.
Something like that, one of those lads mags.
Yeah, that sadly do not exist anymore.
Really?
No, I don't. I think both of them closed down.
I didn't know that. I've never read them. I'm very highbrow.
I always admired their journalistic integrity myself.
Hey, they wrote nice things about Battlezone. So.
Yeah, I did.
The winner's been announced to
Use the left stick to
You know what I'm going to do?
Congratulations, Tanito, you are the winner.
Right now? I'm just going to invert my aim.
stick to rotate
Cool.
and aim.
Tim, why don't you show off the environments a bit?
Okay, I'm going to go this way. Let's go around the around the edges here.
The environment we also changed completely for the second demo.
Yeah.
As Tim was saying, we went for a little bit darker, more neo-futuristic, which is it's cool. I really like it.
Yeah.
Especially the treatment on the light in the skybox and stuff. I think it looks very nice.
I mean, what won't come across on the screen that you're watching here is the sheer sense of scale you get. Like, because I've got like the full 3D view in both my eyes, and again, it's not cropped to a screen size for me. It's just all the way into my peripheral vision. So these buildings are massive.
And you can turn all the way around in the tank, can't you? You can literally
Yeah.
turn all the way.
That's very cool.
Traffic flying above me.
Which again we did modify for the second demo, so we open up the cockpit a lot more, so we give that freedom to the player to look back and look everywhere they want to.
Yeah.
And yeah, I love those kind of big Titan objects in the
I mean,
levels.
this building in particular is monolithic. I don't know how many how high it is actually if you were to measure it in real scale, but it must be like several kilometres high.
And is that scale in a clever way in the game world, or has it literally got a height?
No, it is
literally the size of it.
real height. And it's something that we actually discovered working on the first demo. Is really useful to have one of these massive Titan objects in the level, so people kind of find their way around the level easily.
Yeah. It's quite helpful as well to have relatively open spaces, so that you can always get a nice sort of sense of depth of things away from you. It helps people orient themselves. Otherwise, if I spend a long time on my face up to balloons and things.
Well, you don't want to be in really narrow spaces, do you, in VR? You want to be able to see your...
That's fine as long as you're backing it up with like lots of detail, so you can, so it's scaled appropriately to what your brain wants to know about. But here we're dealing with big scaled stuff and a certain stylized look. So when you get up close to walls and things, they're quite deliberately smooth. So that's the scale we've chosen to work at.
Avoid incoming fire.
There's a lot of people mentioning Tron.
Yeah.
You got an opinion on that?
I do have an opinion on that. I take it as a compliment, but it is worth pointing out that Battlezone, the original game, predates Tron. And in fact, if you look closely in one of the scenes in Flynn's arcade in Tron, you can actually see a Battlezone arcade machine, thus proving that it existed before Tron. Tron took a lot of its inspiration directly from Battlezone. The battling tanks, the vector neon look. But yeah, Tron's obviously had a little bit more of a general cultural impact, I suppose. But it's all part of a beautiful continuum, kids.
There you go, yeah.
I feel proud to be part of it.
I think if you know, it's also how you remember Tron more than how actually Tron is.
Yeah.
So if you go back to the original Tron and you compare it to this, yeah, you'll be surprised that it looks very different.
I'm going to willfully try and get these flyers
With the
rather than the machine gun because enjoy the challenge.
What are the chances?
Yeah,
Oh,
see that?
nice.
There you go.
Good shot.
See that? That's good. It's, that's one of the other cool things about Battlezone is we've based pretty much all the weapons on being proper projectiles with actual arcs and physics rather than just easy line of sight style bullets. So there's always a bit of fun to be had in trying to track the trajectory of the shell moving around with its arms, judging it against the speed and the distance of things. So it adds an element of skill and satisfaction when it pulls off.
Someone's played this demo before.
So the machine gun also have that bullet drop.
It does.
It's really enjoyable to use. Again, another change in level from the previous original demo. Look at that.
It's probably worth pointing out actually that Tim's actually invincible in this demo.
Oh yes.
So this actually will have a little bit more challenge when you're actually playing it.
It would be very challenging the level
yeah.
of intensity we take it up to, but EMP ready.
There's a 3D radar there.
There's a 3D radar. Look at that.
There you go.
Whoa, you can see all the stuff on it. It's, yeah, it is a 3D radar. It's awesome. Actually, I don't know if you can see how it tilts according to the level my tank's at as well. The touchy and stuff. There's like lots of little visual cues all over the shot.
Tim, could you turn your head to the side? Someone called Itchster wants to know whether he's got an ear processing and he wants to see it. If you just hold it to the side, so you can see. Yeah, so you can see how the strap goes over your head. So you can see there's quite a lot of space actually over the ears. It's so that you can actually put your own headphones on, so it doesn't come with an inbuilt thing. So you might have room there actually.
It does have it does have a microphone in it, so you can just use your normal headphones and it will pick up the voice from the actual headset itself.
Yeah.
But you can plug anything you want. So headphones with microphone will also work as well.
And yeah, so these are some of the environments that will also be in the game, because I know people are asking. There's going to be more than this as well. This is just a selection of some of them.
But yeah, we go day and night and industrial and more sort of frozen wastes and some other funky stuff as well. So yeah, that was one playthrough of the demo. What's happening now, Robbie?
Well, maybe play one more time,
Yeah.
I'd say, and talk about more about the combat, maybe,
Okay.
and the weapons, that kind of thing. We've got plenty of time.
Okay.
Press X to select.
Right.
Right, Tornito, I don't think so. It's
What was
against
that?
health and safety.
Yeah. Headstand.
Handstand.
Or was it handstand? Oh yeah, handstand.
Yeah, headstand, definitely not.
There's a fair amount of equipment set up in this room, and if I was
Yeah, it's
to make
tricky.
a wrong move, I might cause many thousands of pounds worth of damage. So I'm not going to do that.
Righty. Seeing as Tim's going to go into another round, how about we do a quick round of hashtag blame Rob if you want to win a T-shirt. Hashtag blame Rob.
I should write it myself, just so that
Blame Rob, as we all do.
Done an excellent job though, setting up with a green screen. It's probably the most complex stream we've ever done by quite a way.
No,
so.
it's really cool though.
Yeah.
It's, it works really well.
so much going on in this space here. Stuff moving everywhere.
Here they come. A sea of flame robs.
See how it feels, Rob?
Yeah, it hurts.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Keeps me awake at night.
Press square to arm.
When using VR, would you recommend a computer chair where you can spin in a 360
I do.
degrees?
I don't know. I guess it's a matter of taste, but for me, like playing, especially something like Battlezone, where you are in a cockpit, having a rotating chair kind of feels right.
I like it. I think some of the events, like the setup, they seem to recommend not having a rotating chair. Now, I don't know if that's because lots of people coming through, or I guess it poses a risk with wires and things if you've just got like crowds of general public coming through. But like in your own setup, I like it with a swivel chair. I mean, that's basically how I experience it most of the time.
Yeah, I do.
This chair here is not a swivel chair, but.
Yeah,
It doesn't really matter, to be honest.
No, I think it just feels right to be able to rotate without too much effort, but it really depends on the game as well.
Got to be honest, I haven't actually played this at home, obviously, because the dev kits are at work, but I do look forward to playing it in my nice leather armchair in my main cave.
Can you have a cigar at the same time?
No, I
I'm not sure where you'd pick it up.
I think it would
like,
stink out the house in a bad way.
It'd be quite difficult to find the ashtray, wouldn't it, with the headset on?
Yeah, maybe we'll have to model in a virtual ashtray and get Sony to do a special peripheral with lights on so it can track it with the camera. They're not going to go for that though, are they? It's a bit niche.
Well, one of the funniest demos we shared a room with was that one that was on a bike. Do you remember?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting. I don't know if anyone has seen it. If any of you have seen it online, it was a PlayStation VR game where you have to move controllers in a basket or something, and it's on a bike, which is on one of those kind of, when you can put your own road bike in your room at home, where you pedal, and it's got the sort of sections that allow the wheels to go around. Bizarre. Yeah. Can you remember what it's called?
I can't remember what it's called, but I want to try the one where they put you on like what looks like one of those massage beds, and they blow fans at you and things, and you can like fly like a bird. I'd like that idea of just getting the whole, the VR thing. I think there's all sorts of interesting stuff going on.
Who writes the music?
Who writes the music? The music is written by our in-house audio team, Graham on the team, Graham Gatherall.
Yep.
Awesome soundtrack putting together for this.
And for the trailers too.
Yes.
Done some bespoke stuff just for the trailers, which is awesome.
Yeah, we haven't listened to most of it actually. We got loads of music coming from him. So,
saw a bike demo where you deliver papers. That might.
Paperboy. Remember that?
VR Paperboy. Yeah.
That could work.
Yeah.
Actually could. Move controllers.
Yeah.
People are still asking if this is coming to PC at all.
Oh, well, we did answer it earlier, but there is a PC version. We've announced that it's coming to Oculus Rift, but it's coming first to PlayStation VR, is the answer. But thanks for the reminder, Rob. Yeah. We can't tell you when on Civil Mango, I'm afraid. Yeah. So I'm interested in people in the stream. How many of you are thinking of picking up PSVR or have already actually pre-ordered it? Because obviously it's going to be a long-term thing. We don't think it's going to sell millions and millions and millions on day one. But I'm just interested to see how many of you are convinced already, having seen some of the games or having seen Battlezone or that kind of thing. Because it's just really interesting for us to know, because we've got no idea. We don't see Sony's figures or whatever. So yeah, let us know if you have. That'd be really cool.
Well, there's one.
Nice. Congratulations.
Let's all go to the bank.
Yeah, can they lend us some money?
We've got more.
Yes.
But I did get like every person who was who played the demo in the show. So anyone who tried VR, they got sold on it straight away. It was quite impressive.
Yeah, they're like, get my credit card.
Yeah. It's literally that.
There's a lot of people here actually. That's really cool. Yeah, we hope you have a really good time. Battlezone will definitely be one of the first games that you'll be able to play. So please pick us if you like what you see here.
You won't regret it.
We ruined it.
Yeah. We got so far without a big error. Easter egg of the original. Interesting. I'm sure there's some Easter eggs in
A
there.
low graphics mode where you're playing like.
All right, shall I go?
Someone says the game is too loud, Rob.
It should be fine now.
Yeah.
Press
Yep.
X.
Okay.
Audio's good.
Cattle zone.
But the
That's
enemy's
different
territory,
kinds of animals there.
Yeah,
I always
represents a
like
strategic
the
zone.
campaign.
Your mission
Map is
is to
pretty
reach,
cool.
It
confront,
is.
and destroy the AI core.
you just kind of
Select
want
a
to play
zone
with it.
and launch when ready.
There was one Sony event that we went to, where I went to, and James went to as well, where there was an uplighter behind, and that caused a real issue in the corner. It couldn't pick up the controller.
Sort of vibrations in the floor could be an issue.
Yeah.
But you need to make sure that the camera is kind of well sat on a table.
Yeah, it isn't sat on the PlayStation itself.
Yeah.
You don't want vibrations on the camera.
Because it will make the cockpit kind of vibrate.
But if it's just on your TV,
Yeah.
Yes, Tetra, there's definitely going to be different kinds of tanks and things, and we'll be revealing that at a later date. But probably not going to go into that today.
To be confirmed.
Towers, stay out of sight.
Steve's sitting there
Yeah,
dying to
yeah,
let it all
yeah.
out.
And I confirm that there will be multiplayer with cats. I did. I implied that, I suppose.
Can we have a dog stream? Because I'm not.
Yeah.
All right.
Good work, James.
Okay, well, I think we'll probably call that a day. Thank you so much for everyone who's got involved in the stream. I think it's probably one of the best streams we've ever done. Had fantastic sort of interaction on the chat. Well done to all the winners. And if you're new to the stream, please do give us a follow. We stream most Wednesday, 6 PM UK time. On our Twitter, we'll always advertise what we're playing. And feel free to hit us up on Twitter at Rebellion. I'm at cookie_vonster. That's with a V. You guys, you remember on
I'm
Twitter?
at Timmy1138.
Nice.
Mouse hat.
Mouse hat. Is that the
Yeah.
one you like using?
Awesome name.
He's got multiple
I
actually.
got two.
Files, yeah. So,
Yeah, he has
Yeah,
a
anyway.
secret underground one as well.
Well, they're all secret though. At least no one is following me.
anyway, yeah. Thank you everyone who's tuned in, and we will see you soon. Hopefully with some more Battlezone news in the future. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us.